For those of you who aren't familiar with ICT SkillNet, we are a government-funded network and we collaborate with academia and industry to create master's programs to fill the skills gaps in industry. So we essentially create programs with industry for industry. So in today's webinar, we'll hear from Dr. Hugh O'Donnell, Head of Discipline, who is the academic oversight of this programme. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, our student panellists cannot join us today. However, we will be working closely with the student in the background just to get a recorded of this testimonial, and we'll circulate it with all attendees once it's available. But if there's any questions as well throughout the webinar, please feel free to submit them through the Q&A function and we'll get to them at the very end. So yeah, now I'm just going to hand over to Dr. Hugh O'Donnell, who will take us through his presentation. So I'll ask Hugh then to come on camera and come off on mute.
Thanks, Aideen. Hello, everyone. Delighted to be here today to talk about the MSc in Leadership, Innovation and Technology. I have a bit of a presentation that runs through the details of the program, so I'll share that with you, and I'll run through it very quickly. It is very straightforward. Yes, there we go. So it's a fairly straightforward presentation. Just goes through the who, what, where, when, and why, and hopefully will give you the information you're looking for. And if you have any questions, we'll certainly be happy to deal with them after the presentation from through the Q&A process, which will be monitored and managed by Aideen. So introduction. So we've been through those, and as Aideen said, Siobhan is unfortunately not with us today. So a very brief overview of TU Dublin. This is a fancy infographic I pulled off the TU Dublin website. It tries to cover in detail what I will briefly outline to you. We're a big university, one of the largest, if not the largest in the country, and we are formed by the amalgamation in 2021 of DIT, the old DIT, which I was part of, IT Blanchardstown and IT Tala. So there are main campuses. We're based, business is still based in DIT Angel Street, the old Angel Street campus. We're still based there, although we have relocation plans to move to Grange Gorman. That won't happen within the lifetime of this cohort of the program anyway. So your engagement with us will be on our TU Dublin Angel Street campus. So running through who is this suitable for? Within the discipline of business technology that I look after, so I'm situated in the Faculty of Business, and I'm responsible for the technological and technical programs that run within that faculty. And the two master's level programs we run in the space of technology management is we have a full-time MSc in Technology and Innovation Management. And then we run, in conjunction with ICT Ireland, the MSc in Leadership, Innovation and Technology. And as you can see, it's really targeted at those who have some experience. So it's not for entry-level managers. It's not for people who do not have a degree of experience, and it's not for people who are at early career. So we're expecting you have significant experience, that you're transitioning into a technology management role, or you're a senior technologist moving into a more strategic role, and you probably have previous project or people management. And it's, as I said, not really aimed at those who are moving for a first time into a project or person management role. So it's about experience. It's about transitioning your skill set, expanding your skill set, and taking a strategic view on the challenges associated with technology and innovation in your organization. Okay, so it's a two-phase program, and I have some diagrams to follow. But the first phase is a sequence of class-based modules that you will cover, and then the second and most significant part of the program is a piece of research work that you will do on your organization in collaboration with your mentors and your organizational leaders. So it's a very rigorous and demanding piece of research that takes a deep dive into a business challenge faced by your organization. Okay, so the modules, as you can see, we talk in terms of credits, and ECTS is European Credit Transfer System. So it's a standardized set of credits across the EU. And in our jargon, we talk about credits all the time. A master's degree consists of the acquisition of 90 credits at what's called level 9 in the learning framework. So it's a postgraduate learning. So if you accrue 90 credits in an area that's related, so it has to be a cognate area. So they're the credits are connected. They are together seen as a significant piece of work. Then you are entitled to a master's award. And the way we've structured this is that we have 6 modules of 5 credits each. Now, 5 credits amounts to about 100 hours of learner time commitment between class time, between reading time, between assessment and everything else. So it's still a significant piece of commitment. And we have 6 of those over the first year. And that gives you 30 of your credits. And then we move on to the major research project. And the research project is 60 credits, so it's got twice the weighting of that, and then combined is our 90 credits. So looking at the knowledge domains, as you can see, we have 3 specific knowledge domains there. We have leadership, innovation, and the strategic management of technology. And then in each of those domains, we have 2 modules that you will take that explore some questions around that area. So they are the modules together. It gives you your 30 credits. And again, a different perspective on the structure of the program. Okay. We're based in Ainger Street, as I said. We're in the Ainger Street campus. This is us. If you don't know where we're based, it's fairly central. To the right of the green roundy building there is the entrance to the old DIT campus. And right in front of that, we're at the intersection of Wexford Street and Ainger Street, basically. So it's 5 minutes walk from the Lewis stop at Stephen's Green, and it's 5 minutes walk from Dame Street. So we're fairly centrally located, and it's convenient for most people who are based in the city of Dublin. If you're outside of Dublin, of course, there are the usual challenges associated with organizing yourself to get to us. Okay, we start in September. We take 1 intake per year. And we do block teaching, so we appreciate you're all working, and we understand that your time is at a premium. So we would do a Friday and a Saturday typically, but in practice what usually happens is that in consultation with the cohort that starts and with the lecturers and the modules they're taking, there'll be a degree of consultation about the best way to structure the program, and whether it's a Friday, a Saturday, or if the cohort feels that they can fit it into a single day or an extended day, and the lecturer is comfortable with that approach, there's usually some sort of discussion and agreement about it. So the actual scheduling is flexible within the constraints of the cohort, the module, and the lecturer's availability. And we try to make sure that there's value for you in the time you commit to us. So we see a lot of value in you being in the classroom, in person, working as a group. But we also appreciate that time is one of your most precious commodities, and we certainly don't want to waste it on you. Okay. And so why take this program? So just a couple of points. Obviously, the main motivation is to develop the key skills for a changing business environment. But there's also the connections and the relationships you can develop over the duration of the program with your cohort, your peer group. There's learning to be had in working with a set of like-minded individuals who are on the same learning journey as yourself. Peer learning through shared experience is one of the most powerful learning vehicles there is. And we certainly encourage and try to ensure that this is a critical part of the learning journey. And of course, through your participation, you are developing your professional network outside your organization as well. And then in terms of the research project, it's a deep dive into a business challenge in your organization, and the outcome of this process is that you effectively become the organization's expert in this field. So people will be coming to you for solutions, and you will be creating an impact plan as part of your research project for implementation to ensure that the next phase, post study phase, when you move into the implementation side of things, that you are ready to proceed and that your likelihood of success is enhanced. So that's really what we're trying to ensure, that it's not a theoretical examination of an issue, but it is that, but it's an awful lot more than that. It's gives you a thorough understanding of the context of the problem, that you really understand the research that's been associated with it, what's working, what's not working, what's the best course of action to take. You'll be working with your sponsors in your organization to ensure that they're kept informed, that they're aware of your research, and that the project impact plan then will be presented to them if you wish, and that will ensure that there's appropriate sponsorship for the implementation side of the project. Okay, so that is my run through, short and sharp, and I'll hand back to Aideen now for the Q&A section. Aideen.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Hugh. That was a very insightful presentation. So I'm sure this gives everyone a better understanding of the programme and its structure. I suppose whether you're planning on submitting an application or if you've already registered and you're due to start in September, I suppose it should give you a better idea of what lies ahead. So I suppose we can go ahead now and jump into the Q&A part of the webinar. So you can submit them through the Q&A function at the bottom of the screens. So I suppose while we wait for everyone to submit questions, I'll just run through the funding kind of element and the application process. So as we're government funded, we can only offer funding to people working in a private or commercial semi-state companies registered in the Republic of Ireland. So the price you would pay is €3,150 per year. The full price without funding is 5,000 per year. The application process then as well. So all we require for the first stage of screening is a copy of your CV. So what we're screening for, it's basically just to check your funding eligibility, as I mentioned already. And then as well, so if you make it through then to the second round of screening, what you will be required to submit is a copy of your primary degree transcripts. And we'd also need a letter from your employer as well, just confirming your role. Applications are taking about a week to be processed. So yeah, that's the application process. But if anyone has any questions, of course, you can get in contact with us as well through info@ictskillnet.ie. I'll get my colleague just to copy that into the chat there as well. So I'll just take a look at the chat now and see what we have. So while studying in the course, would we be treated as regular students of TU Dublin with all the student benefits? I suppose that's a question there for you, Hugh, if you want to come on mic there and answer that.
So the short answer is yes, you are a student of TU Dublin, and everything that entails is available to you. So I'm not exactly sure what the specifics are, but in general, the students are treated and in exactly the same way with full entitlement. So whether it's library access, whether it's access to the facilities of the university and so forth, it's absolutely available to you, yes.
And then a question there as well. So can you please reiterate how many hours per credit you believe is required? I suppose another question there for you, Hugh, if you wouldn't mind answering it.
Right. So I stated in the presentation, we typically would view 5 credits as being 100 hours, so 20 hours per credit. And that's a notional time. So you obviously will not spend 100 hours in the classroom or 100 hours in classroom and assignment. There's individual learning, there's readings, there is you know, the different pieces of work that you will be involved with. So the collective effort for a 5 credit module is notionally 100 hours.
Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But of course, yeah, you can get in contact with us offline as well, and we can send those that information across to you, so you have it in an email. And then moving on to the next question. So is there any flexibility with remote attendance for Friday, Saturday classroom-based learnings? Again, sorry, you know, I'll just hand over to you, just as that is kind of the running order of the program as well.
Again, it depends on what exactly is meant by that. We encourage participation as much as possible. We appreciate your busy professionals, and sometimes attendance may not be possible, but we do encourage it. We feel that one of the real value of the program is actually the in-person attendance. And we feel that the participation, the peer learning that I talked about, the shared experiences, and being able to connect with your lecturing staff, who are also very experienced in both the program and in the professional and academic domain that they are lecturing in. That connection, we feel there's significant value in it. And we obviously want to make sure that you're getting value for your time commitment, and we feel that on balance that it's well worth your while attending, and we really encourage it. So we would try to ask you to make the commitment to attendance, and I think it's a critical part of it. If for work or some other reason you're just not able to make the commitment, we'd say, well, you know, think hard about enrolling. Maybe you could wait until you have less time pressure or something that would allow you to take it on in a more engaged manner. So, you know, it's really tricky. We also appreciate things come up during the year. So you might be starting off and things might be going well, and your circumstances may change. You know, we're very flexible and supportive in relation to that. And I know Technology Ireland are superbly supportive as well. So between us, we'll work something out. But if you're not prepared for it, don't commit. I'd say that's really what we're trying to say today, is just we need to make sure that you're ready for it, you're committed to it, and that the time and the work windows are available to you.
Perfect. Thanks, Hugh. Another question in there as well, just Friday, is it a full day requirement for classes or is it after office hours? So yeah, the class does run from 9 to 5 p.m. I can share the schedule with everyone that has attended the webinar today as well, just so you have a clear overview of what is expected of you. I see another question in there again, just regarding the schedule as well. So the classes are split between some in person, some online. So it is, again, as Hugh alluded to, that it is for like peer-to-peer learnings with your other students on the class. Sorry, I have another question there from. Okay, yeah, that's again just about is there a split between virtual or on-site classes? If so, how many hours should we expect to be on-site? Again, I'll just share the schedule with everybody after. It's not a clear split. There is more classes that are in person than online. But again, as I said, I'll share that with everybody once the webinar is over. Another question in there. I have a question regarding the enrollment criteria. As someone who has previous leadership experience but is currently working as a software engineer without a formal management role, would I be eligible to join the course, or is the course specifically designed for individuals who are currently in management positions? Hugh, I suppose you might be able to jump in on that question.
Yeah, it's about your cumulative experience. So again, without seeing your full background, I would say probably yes, you're probably suitable with previous leadership experience. If you're in a technical role, then that's fine. There's no impediment to you joining the program. What we're really saying is that we need to see sufficient experience in terms of organizational knowledge, in terms of people, project and process management, so that if there's somebody who does not have sufficient expertise in this area, who is really entering first-time management, that's the differentiator. So prior experience is perfectly acceptable, even if you're not in a management role currently.
Thanks. A question in there just about the project. So I work for IT services industry and serve insurance customers within my organization. Should the research project only look at my organization, IT, in brackets, or can it be my customer's organization too?
If you have sufficient access to your customer's organization to allow you to do the kind of deep dive that's required, I would suspect that that's going to be challenging. I would imagine that the only place you would get the kind of access you need to be successful with your project is in your own organization.
Perfect. Somebody just asking a question about the duration of the program. Is it 2 years or 1 year? So it's a 2-year program, 2 years part-time. So hopefully that answers the questions. There's no exams in the course, as well, as Hugh alluded to during his presentation. But I think that's all of the questions, unless anybody else wants to submit one before we close out and I give you back 5 minutes in the sunshine. Perfect. And just to let everyone know that has submitted questions, I can reach out to you as well at the end of the webinar, and just feel free to get in contact as well through info@ictskillnet.ie if you would like to chat with me one-on-one. But yeah, I think that's the end of the webinar. I'll go ahead, as I said, and hand you back 5 minutes of the evening. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And thank you as well to Hugh for coming on and just running through his presentation. And it's really, really insightful. So thanks very much to everyone. Have a great day. Bye.